guys, I'm just gonna do another collective today because I made some little index card decks and I'll just do general messages first. I'm also gonna do love messages, but if you don't align with love messages right now, then I'll do them at the end so you can just click off the video. But this is gonna be general messages because I don't feel like doing pick-up piles right now. Spirit, give me messages from my collective timeless reading. General messages, please. General messages. We have someone is stealing or has been stealing from you, causing love to destroy love. I'm not going to show it to you because you can't see it. I wrote it in pencil, so you're not going to be able to see it. I don't have any markers though, So find the humor in the situation, accept your shadow side. Accept your shadow side. I know it says stealing from you. I think that's very general. I think people might be stealing your information. Someone might be asking around to others about you, or for some of you, this person had been stealing from you for a while. It wasn't just one thing. It was just stealing your energy in general. It's just the kind of energy where the person kind of maybe they didn't even have malicious intentions. For some of you, they did. But this is a recent person who hurt you just because they didn't feel whole within themselves. They never really felt satisfied or fulfilled with anything, or any love they got or any love they gave themselves. It's just anytime they would receive that kind of love towards themselves or from other people, they would just turn around and let themselves fall prey to negative thoughts and just completely not appreciate it that much. So it's just this person could have been stealing your energy just from not having gratitude and keep taking advice from you, but not really putting it into long-term action, and really just be stuck in their own head and what's going wrong for them. But this could have been somebody you're close to, who you wanted to be there for them, but they just couldn't shift their mindset, so it felt more like they were just complaining to you instead of actually trying to solve the situation. And then we have find the humor in the situation, accept your shadow side. I think it's important to look back on because it's easy to get in your head about wanting to tell someone off about something, or wanting to put your foot down about something, or even completely separate from a person. And it's easy to feel bad for that because you can feel like you're being harsh, because of how the nature of you needing to how bad you need to set your foot down about something. But it's important to look back and sort of see the balance in the situation of why you made that choice, how the other person's choices affected you to where you would make that choice. And don't be so hard on yourself and so serious about it, and more just kind of see how you sort of did your best. It might, in your head, it might seem oh, I could have done this better, I could have done this different, what if I did this different? But I'm feeling in reality for this situation, there was no real good or easy way for this to happen, or for you to realize that this person was not fully loving themselves, not fully at the same vibration that you were, to where they could accept your boundaries or maintain healthy boundaries with you. I think a lot of you may be hard on yourselves for like the negative feelings you get from like feeling trapped in those kind of situations where somebody else pushes you and you feel like you have no choice but to react emotionally, but then the person might be confused or upset by how you react to their actions where they aren't thinking about it. And you'll feel bad about that, my collectives. You'll be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I could have been nicer. I could have been more gentle. I could have been more balanced. Even if the person in question wasn't really balanced at all or wasn't thinking about you in the same way that you're thinking about them. So it's important to accept that like you have just as much shadows as any other person. You are gonna feel negativity and feelings that you deem like not good a lot, just as much as you're gonna feel feelings that you deem as good, you know. So you need to accept like where those dark feelings of negativity were coming from or coming forth in a situation. Where, what? Come here, come here. Where those were coming from, you know, how you sort of express that. And then also maybe examine like why you feel guilty about it or why you deem those emotions as bad, those certain emotions. Um, because there's this need here for you, my collectives, to accept your shadow side, accept the fact that you can be an angry person, you can be a bitter person, you can be a hurt person. Whatever it is that you feel like you would rather not express to other people, you have to realize you're like not perfect, and if you're being pushed or pressurized in a situation, it's not always going to be positive feelings coming from you. Sometimes the other person might not even deserve positive feelings. Maybe sometimes the only way the other person is going to hear and understand what you're trying to say is if you're not sugarcoating it or trying to make it seem nice and fair. But if you're actually just giving it to them straight and telling them the truth. And I know most of you have been like doing that, like giving it to them straight, telling them the truth. But they just wouldn't listen, and so it just made you more frustrated. Like, it's okay to be frustrated when people just completely disregard what you say, like you didn't just say it. I think at that point you need to realize like when it's okay to like feel those negative feelings but still try to get across to the other person, you know. And when those negative feelings are just all you're feeling, in that case you need to step away. I'm feeling like for this situation with this person, you put your foot down and stepped away perfectly. You did it in a very balanced manner, but you might still be thinking back on it or like nitpicking your own actions. And for this, you just need to accept that you're not perfect. You're allowed to be an angry person. You're allowed to be bitter and frustrated, and you're allowed to express that to that person, even if that other person felt hurt by your boundaries or felt like offended by you being so firm about the situation and being like, no, this is how it has to be. Because you have to accept that like you are a very wise person, my collectives, and you know what you're talking about. Your shadow side is a part of you that like can't be taken away, so you have to realize that that's going to be expressed in you somehow. I guess ways to accept your shadow side is to like examine it, examine what you deem as like your shadow side, your lesser qualities that you deem within yourself or that you try to hide, and try to like channel them into creativity. Try to like express it with your creativity. Maybe draw it or sing it, write it down, or do it sexually. You could like explore different kinks or taboos. That's a great way to sort of get a lot of energy, pent up energy out of you. Exercise is also another good way. Just like using those emotions as like fuel to like keep exerting yourself when you're feeling like you're getting tired or you can't go anymore. So yeah, just finding healthy ways to like express your shadow side, express your feelings of hurt or anger, or those feelings that you try to hide for the sake of other people, um, will help you to come to terms with the situation more and see the light in it. Because I feel like you're having trouble finding the humor and the light in the situation right now, because you're very focused on like kind of the darker parts of the situation. It was a pretty dark situation, so I can't blame you, and it's important to like work through and process that and what that means. But at the end of the day, like, this happened for a reason, you know. And I think you know you have learned a lesson with this, and maybe try to process that lesson and be like, what does this mean? What does learning this lesson mean now in my life? How does that change the trajectory of my life? One more general messages card before we go into the love messages. We have, you stand/stood in your balanced truth, therefore you have no stress. And there's a picture of a sword and an owl on there. Yeah. You stand in your balanced truth, therefore you have no stress. You stood in your balanced truth, therefore you have no stress. Yeah. I think despite your worries, most of you are kind of relieved now that the situation is over, and now that you sort of like finally stood up for yourself and stood up for your boundaries and put your foot down about that. Because it was like you were pushed to do that. You had no other choice but to like be like, hey, these are my boundaries and they need to be respected. And that was just the truth of the situation. You weren't trying to be deceptive at all. You were just telling it how it was to this person. So yeah, just don't forget that. Like just, you did your best. You were just standing in your truth. You know, don't doubt your choices. Don't regret your choices if you know you stand in your truth and you know you're coming from a place of love and you're genuinely trying and putting effort. Like, you do that, my collectives. You put in the effort. So don't sit here and be like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make the right choice? I could have done this differently to make it better. Like, that came from your heart. That was your choice to protect yourself or protect your boundaries. And because like you came from a place of truth and like openness, honest, non-deception, no disharmony, at the end of the day, you're not going to feel stress. You are in the process of moving on. You are in the process of making the situation better. That's all you were doing by trying to put down your boundaries, is be like, hey, we need to get back to the truth. We need to get back to the balance here. That's why at the end of the day, you're going to be having less and less stress, even if this situation has hurt you. You're trying to move on, you're trying to make it more balanced for yourself and for other people. What this person was doing was not balanced within themselves, whether they were doing intentionally or not, whether they were trying to steal your energy just to keep taking from you, or whether they didn't realize they were taking from you because they couldn't love themselves enough. It doesn't matter. Either way, this person was imbalanced, and that's what caused this problem where you had to put your foot down about something. So don't worry about this person's perspective of it right now, or if they're still bothering you about it. Obviously, you know when to step away from a person, or when a person is just never going to respect you. Don't worry if this person might be stalking you from afar, or what this person thinks at all about this. Honestly, that's not your business at this point. If they can't take your boundaries, they don't deserve to be in your life, and that's just that. No matter if they're a healthy person or not, like, if y'all's boundaries aren't compatible, then y'all just can't be together. Yeah, for some of you, this person was intentionally like being selfish and not caring about your side of it. Like, they only really wanted to sort of start a friendship or start a relationship with someone just so they could, like, feel the pain of, like, oh, I'm not good enough for them, or oh, they're gonna break up, they secretly hate me. Oh, like, this isn't gonna resonate for all of you, but for some of you, this person just wanted to have, like, use a relationship as, like, a pity party for themselves, or a way to victimize themselves more, or a way to feel like they can't have love. It's like, for some of you, this is the type of person who gets into relationships knowing that they don't feel like they deserve love, knowing that they don't believe in the relationship at all. Or the friendship for some of you. But it's weird. Either way, this stealing will no longer be going on because you stood in your truth. And this basically blocked this person from being able to do this anymore. So even though this person might be upset and offended by that, that has nothing to do with you, because that's just your truth. That's just your boundaries. If they're offended by that, that's all them. That has nothing to do with you, and they can go away and go cry about it over there, because that you don't have to deal with that. That's not your problem. So, fuck them. Trust your truth. Trust that you stood in your truth. Trust your choices. And maybe do something creative that involves your, like, dark feminine sexuality, Lilith energy. For some of you, you might do witchcraft, do, like, offerings to Lilith, or another dark sexuality goddess, or god that you like to give offerings to. But this is like Scorpio Venus energy, like dark, deep ego death, but also the divine feminine. Just explore your sexuality is what I mean, like your feminine sexuality especially, and especially the darker parts of your sexuality, and maybe how that shows up in your creativity. For a lot of you, I'm like seeing drawing. I'm seeing somebody drawing little doodles and sketches. You're really good at it. If that's what you do, you're really good. Because I'm seeing these sketches and I'm like, there's so many of them and they seem so scattered, but they all just come together in the perfect way. It's like really cool. But let's move on now to this is general reading, but now it's love messages. Now we got love messages. If you're not aligning with the love vibration right now, don't worry. You can just skip this and go to another video. But for those of you who are wanting some love messages, let's see if anything pops up for you. Spirit, let's capture everyone who's watching this video. Let's get their love messages. Spirit, give me the collective's love messages. Make sure to account for everybody. We have 333, mutual intense sexual interaction with the water symbol, the symbol for the water element on it. So you might be a water sign, or you might know a water sign. Y'all might have significant water energy in y'all's chart that like synergizes. But whoever it is that is your person or your people who are thinking about, there is a lot of like it's distracting. Like, you couldn't get anything done with this kind of sexual energy, and it's fun, it's funny, you know, until you're both sitting there and you can't talk about anything, you can't get anything done, because it's like the tension is tangible and y'all are both just staring at each other trying not to say anything about it, like, I feel completely normal. There's definitely this tension here that I'm feeling of like this attraction going unsaid, this tension going unsaid, for whatever reason. Like, it's definitely mutual, It's definitely intense, and it's definitely a sexual attraction. Mutual, both of you. Intense. Attracted to each other. But it's going unsaid. And with the water sign here, I'm feeling like it's for very complex reasons. It's for very complex emotional reasons. And it's also... it's like... it's really delicate of a situation. Like, all the things y'all say, all the things y'all don't say are very, very specific. Like, if y'all just said one little thing, it would change the entire, like, awareness of y'all's relationship, because y'all both know that there's that tension there. And so if y'all just said one little joke on accident, it would all of a sudden be, like, up in the air, and y'all would actually have to talk about it. But both of y'all are so scared about that, it's like y'all tiptoe perfectly around it, where y'all end up not doing that and keeping the tension. So y'all are some freaky freaks. I see you. We have 777. Wait before speaking about this. And then we have the earth symbol. So you definitely need to wait before speaking about this. Like, you don't... I'm not sure why y'all both feel the need to not talk about this, not address the elephant in the room. But apparently, it's important that y'all don't. It's important to both of y'all's life paths and destinies that y'all continue tiptoeing around this and beating around the bush or whatever. And with the earth thing here, it's probably going to happen a while. Like, I'm getting the energy of a span of a few years, which may not seem that appealing to all of you. That's not going to resonate for all of you. But the earth is generally slow-moving energy. But yeah, when I say wait before speaking about this, I mean just wait. I feel like most of y'all will know when it's the right time. I feel like most of y'all aren't ready to do anything but wait because of the intensity of this. But yeah, I guess just this is confirmation that y'all both feel this for each other, and y'all are both wanting to wait. So our third, I guess third, fourth, and fifth card, we have 666. You will only be with this person for a period of time. 222. This person believes you are their true love. 333. There is no manipulation or deception here. Two of those have water symbols, and then one of them has... actually, the wait before speaking about this had an air symbol. My bad. And that there is no manipulation, deception here has an earth symbol. So I was actually wrong. Wait before speaking about... y'all might end up talking about this very soon. Or end up stop tiptoeing around it very soon, because the air sign actually means happening very fast. So... some of you might happen later, for some happen might soon, but there's definitely no manipulation here. Y'all are both coming in like as an open book. Y'all are definitely both coming in with true intentions, with clear intentions, no hidden intentions at all. If you were like worried about that at all, this is your confirmation that this person's not trying to deceive you or trying to keep their crush from you. I think the reason y'all are both unable to talk about this is kind of mutual. This person, 222, this person believes you are their true love with the water sign. This just gives me a lot of soulmate energy, but honestly, it gives me the energy that this person is kind of a romantic, and they think of things in terms of like fairy tales. Like, you are this person's wish fulfillment, kind of, or you just have a lot of qualities that this person likes in a person or in a partner. Even then, it's not just that, it's just like something about you feels like home to them. It just feels like the one true like energy that they like being around, that they think of when they listen to music or look at good art or read a particularly beautiful poem that hits home. It's just like this person feels you in their heart. 25 on the clock when I said it might be a specific number for you, but I don't know. This person genuinely does believe that you are their true love, like you're their one true love, you know? So they have that like sort of like wondrous, like doting affection towards you, like, oh. And then the 666, you will only be with this person for a period of time. This is giving me a lot of different energies. For some of you, this person is like a soulmate, like the type of soulmate that's like in your life for a period of time, and y'all are both like meant to change each other's lives in a certain way in that period of time, and then y'all just go y'all separate ways and, you know, keep going. There's like nothing bad here, nothing karmic. Y'all are just only meant to be there for a specific part of your lives, and then y'all keep moving forward. And y'all are completely changed by each other, meeting each other. It's like a soul contract kind of energy. Like, I'll help you in this way if you help me in this way. But for some of you, it's like I'm feeling this energy where this is your person. Like, you wouldn't want to move on from this person. This is the person you'd want to spend the rest of your life with. And all I can say about that is, with the 666 here, you kind of have to remember that everyone and everything dies eventually. Like, so maybe you or this person are older, or maybe not even that, but this could happen by unforeseen circumstances, and it could happen at any time. Maybe 60 or 70 years into y'all's relationship. I guess it's pretty rare for a couple to die at the same time together. But this definitely will probably be a situation where either you will die first and like this person will still be alive, or that person will die and you will still be alive. And it'll be very hard for y'all because this connection is very intense. It's definitely meant for y'all's destinies, and it's definitely a big part of y'all's soul contracts in y'all's lives. So whether y'all are choosing to part ways and go y'all separate ways, or whether y'all are separated by natural causes, or even an accident, it still really has a big impact on y'all. Like, it's still really hard for y'all to separate from each other or be apart from each other just because of how strong of a connection this is. But there's definitely meant to be a lesson learned by the separation of like y'all being together and then separating. Like, there's something y'all need to learn about being able to do what you need to do for each other in this life, and then be able to let go of each other's souls in that lifetime and move on to the next life. Because there's this energy here where in a past life you and this person were together, but when it came time to let go of the soul contract, when it came time for one of y'all to let go and move on, the other person, or maybe even both of y'all, wasn't able to do it. Y'all weren't able to do it. Y'all just couldn't do it, and it caused problems. It basically caused karmic problems to where the death or the separation didn't happen as it was meant to, and it was like karmic. Like, y'all were meant to separate, but y'all both chose not to, even though you were supposed to, and that happened in past life, and it carried on over to this life to where now y'all have to do that karmic cycle over again and be able to healthily have that separation after experiencing such intense connection with each other, like being able to separate again, and not trying to stop that, not trying to like hold it back, you know? So there's this major karmic lesson being learned between y'all, but it's like soulmate energy. It's not a karmic that this person is. This is like a deep soulmate. For some of you, maybe even twin flame, but this is like a deep soulmate who will just change you for the better without it having to be painful or karmic or hurtful.